Hey guys, today I'm going to be sharing with you my to-be read pile for April, May 2025. So, before I head into my TBR for April and May of 2025, let's talk about the previous TBR, February, March, right? Yes, I can math. February, March went very well, and as always, I usually feel like I'm overambitious with a TBR, but somehow I end up getting it done early. It's like a week in advance early, which is always great because I like being able to start my next TBR early. That way I can incorporate a couple additional books that I might not otherwise if I was like behind. Yeah, for the most part, I do believe that TBR went very, very well. Definitely some books in there that I enjoyed. I have officially concluded rereading or reading for the first time for some of the books my Philippa Gregory journey. So yeah, no more Philippa Gregory books moving forward here because that's kind of all I did last year, and then the first couple months of this year was either rereading some of my Philippa Gregory books or yeah, filling in some of the empty spots, some of her books that have been published that I have yet to get around to. So yeah, my journey with Philippa Gregory is done for the time being. I do still have several more Philippa Gregory books to read because there's like a duology that I've never read, and then she has like a new trilogy that came out a couple years ago. So I do have some other ones, but yeah, I wanted to specifically get through the Tudor Plantagenet series by Philippa Gregory. So that journey is finally complete, thank God. But I loved reading all of her books, or rereading, like I said, all last year and the first couple months of this year. And yeah, I did have one book that was terrible. What was it? Oh my God, because I did give a book like 1 star. What was it? Oh my God, I can't remember. Like the book was that bad that I gave it a 1 star that I can't even remember. I honestly can't remember. But either way, guys, as always, because I can only upload so many videos a month. Book reviews, when I'm done with a book, they go up immediately on Goodreads. If you want to read my thoughts about a particular book, as soon as I'm finished with it, it's on Goodreads. A video review will come at some point. It may be a year. That's okay. That's how far behind I am on book review videos, but it will eventually come. So let's get going with what I plan on reading for April and May. Yeah, guys, I'm pretty excited about all these. So something that I wanted to start and read throughout the entirety of 2025, I wanted to make my way through the entirety of Bernard Cornwell's Last Kingdom series. The Netflix show The Last Kingdom. It's based off of these books. I love that show. So yeah, the next 2 books in that particular series is The Burning Land and Death of Kings. I love this one, especially the cover and just the title itself, Death of Kings, because it's like a line in like what, Richard II from Shakespeare, right? I think. So yeah, just a quick synopsis, I suppose, of what The Last Kingdom book series by Bernard Cornwell is about, in case you have no idea what they're about. These books take place like during the early Anglo-Saxon period of English history, and kind of like the Viking invasion and all of that sort of stuff, and set during the reign of Alfred the Great. And the whole series is following a young man named Uhtred of Bebbanburg, and he's both a Saxon and a Dane. It's complex. And yeah, he kind of straddles that fine line of his loyalties to King Alfred, but also his loyalties to the Danes. And yeah, it's just his entire journey as a young man, fighting his loyalties and being with the women he loves. Yes, women, multiple. His friends, all the battles and war that he gets up to. So far, I'm really liking these. I do find what I have discovered so far, because I've read 4 books in the series so far, what I have discovered is that I do think this is one of those rare instances where a TV adaptation is far superior than its book adaptation. I don't know if that's an unpopular opinion when it comes to the Last Kingdom book series, but even though I do like these books, like I said, I've read 4 of them so far, and I'm getting into book 5 and 6 here for this next TBR. I do like them and enjoy them, but I definitely far prefer the TV show. I think this TV show is actually far superior and way more entertaining and interesting, and the characters a itty bit more fleshed out than what they are in these books thus far. But yeah, you can let me know if you share that opinion or not. Do you prefer the books over the show? Because right now, like I said, even though I do like these books, I definitely far prefer the TV show. Next up, what I plan on reading are these 4 Disney-themed books that come from the world of Frozen. Yeah, guys. Yes, I am a grown woman, but I do love... I love just reading some random Disney books here and there because they're short, they're to the point, they're cute, they're not overly dark or angsty. Because I tend to read so much stuff that is dark and angsty and deeper and heavier, and I like reading Disney books in particular because they're like a palate cleanser, if that makes sense. They're like a nice palate cleanser after I've read more heavier, deeper material, and I can kind of read this stuff and I don't have to like overthink or overanalyze. These books are just what they are. But like I said, I have 4 Disney themed Frozen books here. Yes, there's a lot of them. And I'm not even sure if I've gotten them all. These are the ones in particular that I gravitated toward, that I was like, oh, I gotta get these. But yeah, the first one I have here is A Frozen Heart. And this one is supposed to be focused on Hans, if I'm not mistaken. You know, the bad guy from Frozen, the big reveal, the big shocking reveal of Hans as the villain. This one's supposed to be kind of focused on him, and I think some of his backstory, if I'm not mistaken. Kind of getting into his psyche a little bit more than what the show, or sorry, what the movie did. So I'm really looking forward to this one. But yeah, like I said, it's called A Frozen Heart by Elizabeth Rudnick. And this one is related to Frozen 2, and this is Forest of Shadows by Camilla Benko. And I think, judging from how, how Frozen 2 ends without spoiling anything, this has got to be like a prequel to Frozen 2. This has got to be set between movies 1 and 2, I believe. And yeah, it looks dark and sinister, something about some creepy woods, perhaps. And then after that, I'm going to read Dangerous Secrets by Mari Mancusi, and this is also set during Frozen 2. And this, I think, is supposed to be all about Anna and Elsa's parents, who, as we all know, they died tragically at a ship at sea. It sunk. So I think this is supposed to be, once again, kind of more of a prequel to like Frozen 2 and probably even Frozen 1, I'm suspecting. So this will be fun to learn more about Anna and Elsa's parents and see what that's all about. And then the last one is Polar Nights Cast into Darkness, and this is by Jean Calanita and Mari Mancusi. And kind of just judging from Elsa's look, once again, not spoiling Frozen 2, but judging from Elsa's look here on the cover, I'm guessing this is like post Frozen 2, like sometime after Frozen 2, I'll guess. So after I'm done with all that cutesy stuff, I'm going to be heading into my darker reading material, if you will. So I plan on reading this book right here. This is Victorian Psycho by Virginia Fito, and you have probably seen me talk about this book several times on my channel, because I believe when I did like my most anticipated books at the start of the year, this is one of my most anticipated books of the year. And when I did like a thing of like upcoming historical fiction for the year, I think this was on that list as well. So I am definitely excited to get to this, and it's very tiny. I didn't realize it would be like a tiny book. It's like right under 200 pages, you guys. So let's see. Winifred Naughty arrives at Inzer House, prepared to play the perfect governess. She'll dutifully tutor her charges, Drusilla and Andrew, tell them bedtime stories, and only joke about eating children. But long, listless days spent within the estate's dreary confines comes with an intimate knowledge of the perversions and pathetic preoccupations of the Pounds family. Mr. Pounds can't keep his eyes off Winifred's chest, and Mrs. Pounds takes a sickly pleasure in punishing Winifred for her husband's wandering gaze. Compounded with her disdain for the entitled Pounds children, Winifred finds herself struggling at every turn to stifle the violent compulsions of her past. French tutoring and needlework are one way to pass the time, as is admiring the ugly portraits in the gallery, and creeping across the moonlit lawns. Patience. Winifred must have patience, for Christmas is coming, and she has a very special gift planned for the dear souls of Inzer House. Oh, yeah. Seriously. This just sounds so delightfully creepy and kind of gothic. I can't wait to see what's going on in this book, because it's kind of vague. Next, I plan on reading Hungerstone by Kat Dunn. And this is a book that was also released this year. And I love the cover design of this. Again, kind of delightfully creepy and chilling. Wait till you hear the plot synopsis of this one, you guys. It's wonderful. And it does say that this is supposed to be kind of like a reimagining of Carmilla, you guys. So when I read this book, I shall compare. It's the height of the Industrial Revolution, and 10 years into Lenore's marriage to steel magnate Henry, the relationship has soured. When Henry's ambitions take them from London to the remote British moorlands to host a hunting party, a shocking carriage accident brings the mysterious Carmilla into their lives. Carmilla, who is weak and pale during the day but vibrant at night. Carmilla, who stirs up something deep within Lenore, and before long, girls from the local villages fall sick, consumed by a terrible hunger. As the day of the hunt draws closer, Lenore begins to unravel, questioning the role she has been playing all these years. Torn between regaining her husband's affection and the cravings Carmilla has awakened, Lenore will soon discover a darkness in her household that will place her at terrible risk. Yes, this sounds so wonderfully creepy and crazy and insane. It's probably not going to end well. You know, kind of knowing what I know about the story of Carmilla, I have a feeling this is not going to go well. Then I plan on reading this book right here, The Favorites by Lane Fargo. And this was also another book that was released this year, and another book that I've been highly anticipating. She might not have a famous name, funding, or her family's support, but Katerina Shaw has always known that she was destined to become an Olympic skater. When she meets Heath Roca, a lonely kid stuck in the foster care system, their instant connection makes them a formidable duo on the ice. Clinging to skating and each other to escape their turbulent lives, Kat and Heath go from childhood sweethearts to champion ice dancers, captivating the world with their scorching chemistry, rebellious style, and roller coaster relationship. Until a shocking incident at the Olympic Games brings their partnership to a sudden end. Let me guess, someone's going to get like really gruesomely like injured. As the 10-year anniversary of their final skate approaches, an unauthorized documentary reignites the public fascination with Shaw and Roca, claiming to uncover the real story through interviews with their closest friends and fiercest rivals. Kat wants nothing to do with the documentary, but she can't stand the thought of someone else defining her legacy. So after a decade of silence, she's telling her story, from the childhood tragedies that created her all-consuming bond with Heath to the clash of desires that tore them apart. Sensational rumors have haunted their lives every step for years, but the truth may be even more shocking than the headlines. Yes, seriously, I'm a sucker for like ice skating, figure skating at the Olympic Games. So when I saw that this book had something to do with like ice skating, I was like, yes, hell yes. Especially like the pairs. That is one of my favorite things at the Winter Olympics, is the pairs figure skating, the ice skating. I love that. It's just always so gorgeous and breathtaking to watch. And yeah, whenever the guy lifts up the girl and it's like, oh my god, he's gonna drop her. So yeah, I can't wait to get this. It's contemporary. It's not historical fiction. You guys gasp. And I do have room for one more book. I'm going to go to my TBR jar here and let's see what I shall pick out. Like I say, every time I do this, I love picking from this jar because I can get around to a book sooner rather than later. It forces me to read something that I wouldn't get around to anytime soon. Okay, so once again, you know, I told myself before filming this video, I needed to dump all this out somewhere, shuffle them up, and I failed. I neglected to shuffle this, as always. I don't know what's wrong with me. So I'm just going to dig somewhere randomly down here in the middle because all the new books go immediately to the top. So let's see, what do I have? I refuse to give up this piece of paper that's clutched between my two fingers. Okay, it's orange. Okay, let's see what this is. And the winner is... Oh, yes. I just had to find it. You guys, that was a first when I pick out a piece of paper from the TBR jar, because normally, because what you don't see, because I have to edit this, what you guys don't see is me running around through all my bookshelves, and sometimes it will take me over 10 minutes to find a book. And this is one of those rare occasions. I saw the title and I immediately knew where it was, and I found the book in like 5 seconds. Thank God. So I don't have to do much editing there. But yeah, what I picked from the TBR jar, you guys, is this book right here, The Brightest Star by Gail Tsukiyama. And I have read some books from her in the past, and I can't think what I've read. I know I've read something from Gail Sugiyama before in the past. Well, God, what was it? I'll have to think about that at a later point. But I have definitely read something from her in the past, and I really enjoyed it. And you know what? This book is not that old. How old is this? Was this released like maybe last year? Let me see. Let me look at the publishing date real quick. 2023. Okay. A little kind of over a year old, I guess. I can do math, you guys. So yeah, this book right here. Let me read the synopsis for you. And good God, what happened to the inside of my book? I don't think when I bought this book I paid attention, because there's like a big old stain right here, like a permanent marker almost. Does it look like that on the other side? Oh, that's weird. Yeah, because there's no stain on the book itself. But on the inside, yeah, it looks like there's some sort of permanent marker stain right there. I don't know how that happened. Oh well. At least you can't see it. It's not, at least it's not on the cover, you guys. Okay, so let's see. At the dawn of a new century, America is falling in love with silent movies, including young Wang Li Song, the daughter of Chinese immigrants who own a laundry. Wang Lu is bullied at school for her Chinese heritage. Wang Lu retreats to the local Nickelodeons? I'm not sure what that word is. I'll have to look that up. Buying tickets with her lunch money and tips saved from laundry deliveries. By 16, Wong Lu has already chosen a stage name, Anna May, and leaves high school to pursue her Hollywood dreams, defying her disapproving father and her Chinese traditional upbringing, a choice that will hold emotional and physical consequences. Anna May gets her big break and her first taste of Hollywood fame, starring alongside Douglas Fairbanks in The Thief of Baghdad. Yet her beauty and talent aren't enough to overcome the racism that relegates her to supporting roles as a helpless exotic butterfly or a vicious murderous dragon lady, while Caucasian actresses in Yellowface are given starring roles portraying Asian women. Though she suffers professionally and personally, Anna May fights to win lead roles, financially support her family, and keep her illicit love affairs hidden, even as she finds freedom and glittering stardom abroad and receives glowing reviews across the globe. So yeah, this is based off of a real historical figure, an Asian American actress, a very popular kind of during this, this heyday of early Hollywood and whatnot. Yeah, I definitely gravitated toward this because I like reading books about early Hollywood and whatnot, and this is just such a unique, interesting point of view that you don't get to hear about. So I am definitely very excited to get around to this. I'm so glad that I picked this from the TBR jar. So you guys, that is it for everything that I plan on reading for the next 2 months. In the comments below, have you guys read any of these books that I just talked about? Do you plan on reading any of them? Just let me know. So that's it for this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you like this video, you may like these other videos. Bye guys.